Welcome, gentle listener, I am Baldermort, your faithful servant, and I wish to introduce you to the forces, factions, and units of the Warhammer 40k universe, the grim darkness of the far future, where there is no time for peace, there is only time for war. And today, I am still getting back on the horse, so to put it, regaining momentum, so wee biscuit of lore to try to grease the wheels. So, we shall be discussing one of the most dangerous tanks in the entire grim darkness of the far future, yet one of its newest. Of course, I can only be speaking of the Tau Hammerhead and its legendary pilot, the hero of the Firecast, Longstrike. And so, as usual, for the very basics, let us lean on existing wisdom. To quote X7 Hammerhead Gunship. Like a hungry predator on the prowl, the Hammerhead Gunship is a menacing sight. It skims over a flat surface with its massive turret-mounted gun swiveling back and forth to track potential targets. The Hammerhead Gunship is the main battle tank of the Tau, and all enemies who have encountered it quickly grow to respect, if not outright fear, the might of its main armament, the dreaded railgun. The railgun is a linear accelerator that uses superconductive electrodes to project a solid shot at hypersonic speeds. The vast kinetic energy generated by the round on impact has devastating effects, even at long ranges. The Hammerhead can also carry sophisticated submunitions, a shot full of smaller projectiles used for suppressive area fire against soft targets. For closer range protection, the Hammerhead carries a pair of gun drones, although at need, these can be switched to full AI mode and detached from the tank to operate independently on the battlefield. Some Hammerheads do not carry a railgun as their main weapon, but instead use the ion cannon, a unique Tau innovation that shoots an ionic beam that explodes upon impact with its target. Ideal for use against light tanks and heavily armored infantry, the ion cannon can also be overcharged. While this risks a dangerous overload, it results in a larger blast capable of destroying even more targets. It is common to find at least a few Hammerheads deployed in support of fire warrior teams. Although well armored, the Hammerhead is most often kept at a distance to take advantage of the superior range of its weapons. There are many accounts of single Hammerheads demolishing enemy armor with almost contemptuous ease. During the Damocles Crusade, the Hammerhead gained a particularly fearsome reputation amongst the Astra Militarum. Entire armored companies were destroyed before they could close with the Tau battle lines, and whole offensives were transformed into fields of wreckage by the formidable Hammerhead Gunship. Not to be denied their advance, the humans massed their remaining armor and sent them all against the Tau lines, seeking to overwhelm them with sheer numbers. But the Tau are veteran orc fighters, and they were well accustomed to such tactics. The Imperial tanks were met by expertly placed armored interdiction cadres, formations of Hammerheads and Skyrays. Although outnumbered at least 5-1, the superior range and armored penetration ability of the Hammerhead, along with its ability to quickly reposition into cover or advance into a better firing position, more than made up the difference. By the campaign's end, the Imperial Guard tank regiments were utterly demolished as they grimly calculated their low odds of survival. They would never leave cover without first thoroughly scanning the horizon for the Hammerhead's distinctive shape. Although the Hammerhead Gunship performs well in tank duels, the combined arms approach of the Tau requires much more from their main battle tank than just anti-armor capability. It was the legendary commander Puretide who said that even the most rampant horde attack can be broken through application of firepower, and the submunitions blast of the railgun can rip bloody gaps in charging formations to halt an incoming war, or smash apart an entire wave of lesser tyrannid creatures. Fire Warrior and Pathfinder teams often work closely with Hammerheads, mutually supporting each other and frequently using marker lights to guide the gunship's powerful shots towards priority targets. Longstrike. Hammerhead pilot, gunship ace, Titan Slayer, terror of Taros, hero of the Tau. Master gunship pilot Shasla Tao Shang, now better known as Longstrike, has quickly become the Firecast's most heralded tank ace. His kill tally far exceeds any other gunship pilot, and the distance between Longstrike and those who would claim his title continues to widen with each fresh engagement. Since his first training session, he exhibited an almost innate ability to handle a hammerhead. In the wars of the Third Sphere expansion, his skills were put to the ultimate test in the heat of battle. It was on Taros that the young hammerhead pilot earned the name Longstrike and got his first taste of the repugnant ways in which humans fight their wars. As part of an armored interdiction cadre, he was assigned to a contingent fighting in the western deserts. There, over the arid flatlands, the Hammerhead gunships crashed for days against the full might of the Astra Militarum's Lehman Russ companies. For all their smoke-spewing and crude design, the human battle tanks were dangerous, even more so as they outnumbered the Tau armor by at least 6-1. Early in the engagement, Shang showed poise and a remarkable aim, making every shot count until the horizon was littered with fiery wrecks. Yet the battle was costly for the Tau as well. All of Shang's bondmates, those who had undergone the version of Talisera unique to gunship pilots, were slain. The human tankers showed no remorse, grinding their heavy tanks over wounded Tau, and even over their own troops in their eagerness to press the attack. Shang continued to battle, steadily backing his hammerhead away to put intervening terrain between himself and incoming fire. With every discharge of his railgun, smoke blossomed from another Lehman Russ in the distance. The tank duel went on until a school of razor-shark strike fighters flew over to finish off the attackers, and Longstrike's legend was begun. In the ongoing battles that marked the Imperium's retreat from Taros, Longstrike continued to cull the Imperial armor, including a famous headshot that felled a colossal Warhound Titan. Due to his unerring aim, Longstrike was chosen to trial the new XV-02 pilot battlesuit. With its upgraded interface, he could become one with his vehicle, reacting instantaneously alongside various AI functions within the Hammerhead. This would allow Longstrike to provide supporting fire to nearby teams in ways most other vehicles, even those equipped with targeting arrays, could not. He would also be able to make better use of incoming marker-like data, enabling him to lock onto targets with even greater accuracy. The combination of Longstrike's formidable skills and the XV-02 battlesuit have made him deadlier than ever. Redeployed for the major battle of Mugulas Bay, Longstrike destroyed innumerable gun and bunker emplacements along the Imperial line. As the fighting moved into the narrow high streets, Longstrike's lightning-fast reactions allowed him to destroy infantry attempting to emerge from cover and attack the surrounding fire warriors. Before the last pockets of resistance were wiped out, word of the Hammerhead pilot, who could not miss, had spread across the Firecast. By that time, Shang was already on board a transport for the next engagement of the Third Sphere expansion. XV-02 pilot battlesuits. One of the most advanced creations of the Tau Sept science divisions, the XV-02 pilot battlesuit blends advanced neural interface technology with a network of subdermal implants and adrenal stimulators designed to enhance the reaction time of its user. The wearer can visualize and interpret complex streams of marker-like data in an instant, converting these into pinpoint targeting solutions, even as they gracefully maneuver their vehicle outside of the firing arcs of enemy tanks. The presence of a single pilot wearing an XV-02 suit greatly contributes to the already impressive firepower of an armored contingent. To the frustration of Earth-class scientists, however, they have thus far been unable to replicate the astonishing success of Shasla Longstrike. Very few test pilots have proven compatible with the XV-02's neural framework, and those who have been able to master the sheer speed of the battlesuit's metasynthetic processing have swiftly succumbed to irreversible encephalic degradation and nerve shock. End quote. Now we shall see these things in action again very soon, for there is a certain tank battle that needs to be concluded in the near future. And what a horror this tank is. Finally, yes, finally. It has the kind of killing power it always should have done. Oh, and Billy, if you are still listening these days, time to throw down. My blood angels, your Tau. I want to see these monsters in action. Message me, little man. It's time for an ass-whooping. Probably mine. I have been Baldermort, your faithful servant. I hope you've enjoyed this brief introduction to Hammerhead tanks. If so, then please consider liking and subscribing. If you do, then hit the notifications button, as I would not want you to miss out. If you see the worth in what we are doing, then do also consider joining our Patreon, or giving the video a share if that is beyond your present scope. It would be a great boon. Now, no matter what you do today, do try to make some time for fun. Toodaloo.